Hello and welcome to IBTimes UK. I'm Leanna Brinder, Business Editor for the International Business Times. Joining me now is Arvydas Arnasius, and he's the Acting Director General at Invest Lithuania. So hi, thanks for joining us in London.
Hi, good morning.
Well, so tell us a bit about Lithuania's economy. We know that it's the largest out of the Baltic states and is actually part of the European Union. So since the onset of the financial crisis and years later, are you seeing a lot more investment and coming into the country?
Yes, actually, Lithuania was and still is a very dynamic economy. Out of 3 Baltic states, actually, we've been able to attract quite a lot of foreign direct investments. And since the financial crisis, actually, our economy was actually growing constantly. And it's around right now 3.2%, and is being expected to grow actually by the numbers actually from 3 to 5% per annum. Basically, it's very important to tell that Lithuania, as a dynamic country, is basically focusing, attracting investments from the very specific sectors. We're not aiming to attract actually investments which are only based on the cheap labor. We're looking at the quality labor force. We're looking at the investments which are utilizing the available resources in Lithuania, competencies, as well as actually the skills from the specialists in the IT sector, in biotechnology, laser technology, as well as the shared service centers.
Maybe you can tell us some of the major advantages for companies maybe setting up shop or tapping into that talent pool over in Lithuania.
It's a qualified and talented talent pool, meaning that those people which right now working in Lithuania, that are able to apply their knowledge in science such as mathematics, physics, actually also to have the finance and accounting actually knowledge which can be applied here. Additionally, another advantage is actually that we are within the area which is around 800 million people, meaning that Lithuania is strategically positioned between the east and west, north and south, and logistically that's also a very big advantage. Number 3 thing is actually modern infrastructure, which in Lithuania is actually well developed. We are number 1 in Europe, actually in European Union by the internet speeds on the download scale, as well as actually Lithuania been getting very good ratings. Recently, actually doing business rating, which is from the World Bank, rated Lithuania number 17, which is the highest rating in Central and Eastern Europe. As well, actually, Lithuania was rated as the most attractive country for investments from the Ernst & Young survey, comparing actually Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. So all of these things, talented pool of people, modern infrastructure, as well as actually good ratings, puts us on the map. And the most important thing is really just to make sure that the investors which are considering coming into the Central Eastern Europe also look at the Lithuania as a viable option.
Tell us a bit as well about the maybe tax benefits. What's, for instance, like corporate tax, personal income tax? What can one expect if they went over that?
Okay. Lithuania is actually number 4 economy in the European Union, which actually offering one of the lowest tax rates. At the moment it's 15%. Only just actually 4 countries actually offering the actually less tax. Among them is actually like Bulgaria, like Cyprus, like Ireland, and we're sharing the 4th place between Lithuania and Latvia. The tax benefits is just actually one thing. Another thing is as well we have incentives for the companies which are actually establishing the business in the tax-free zones. And those tax-free zones basically offering the businesses to have 0 corporate income tax for the 6 years period. And then actually for another 10 years they have 50% from the current existing tax rate, which is 7.5%.
We know that obviously Lithuania is part of the European Union, but you guys are going to be implementing the euro soon. I mean, can you tell us maybe the pros and cons, even if that's going to be short term in terms of hitting consumer prices and so forth, but I mean the benefits of Lithuania adopting the euro?
Yeah, Lithuania is very close of adopting euro because next year, it's almost actually very close, its probability is close to the 100% that we'll be actually introducing euro because we're meeting all Maastricht criteria. From the investment standpoint of view, actually, I should say that there's going to be very small impact on investments, since right now Lithuanian litas, which is our national currency, is being pegged to euro at the fixed rate. So basically the currency risk is almost close to zero. But from the standpoint of actually stability, and as well as Lithuania is part of the European Union as well as NATO, entering into the euro, this is also additional stability factor for the economy.
Where Lithuania is positioned, I mean, Vilnius, the capital, is on the border for Belarus, for instance. What would you say the relationship is for the country at this moment of time, and maybe corporations that eye that physical border as maybe a bit risky for when it comes to trade?
Actually, it's quite a few opinions right now going on, but what actually I can tell is just the facts that Lithuania is a member of the NATO. Lithuania is a member of the European Union. We've been actually stable since a long time ago, economically and politically. What actually offers for the companies coming to Lithuania is that actually from Lithuania they can conduct the business in the eastern markets, such as Russian Federation, such as Belarus and other countries, CIS countries. And that's exactly what Lithuania actually can add as a value-added benefit for the investors considering coming to Lithuania.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That was Arvydas Arnasius from Invest Lithuania.